Good morning, members. Welcome you back here on our press conference. This is the first press conference, 2023. We thank God that every one of us is still alive. We still thank God for the achievements we made throughout 2022, and we pray that you make a lot of achievements in this year. Before you is the executive of National Economic Empowerment Dialogue, headed by our president, Joseph Kiza Kabuleta. It has been a while. He's back in full force with a lot of energy to address different issues affecting this country. Tubaniriza mwenna bannamawulire olwaleero mu press conference yaffe esoose ey'omwaka guno wa 2023. Maaso gammwe waliwo abakulembeze b'ekibiina kya National Economic Empowerment Dialogue NED. Masekkati gaffe tulina pulezidenti waffe Joseph Kiza Kabuleta. Kaseera kadde kagenze nga taliiwo naye kati akomyewo. Maanyi mapya, manda mapya, nkuba mpya. Nsaba ffenna tumutegere amatu tuwulize byagenda otunnyonnyola. Tweyanziza.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. In our neighborhood there was an opposition leader. He went somewhere. When he came back, the citizens planned something, and they were telling him, in Uganda we call it Kumula Opera, and we kept saying, when you are away, Mr. President. I want to first of all thank God that today we are here in 2023 with the President. But Mr. President, when you were away, we had the press conferences, and these people, I want to thank the members of the media for standing with us, for amplifying our voices when the President was abducted. For me, to date, I maintain the President was abducted. We have started another chapter or another chapter this year of series of our press conferences, as we normally do every Monday. This year, Mr. President, when you are away, so many things happened. One of the things that you dedicated a whole press conference telling Ugandans and telling people about, and that is the computer misuse something, was nullified by court. You told Ugandans here that that law was bad. That law does not, because we have a whole constitutional article, Article 43, that talks about that all laws, such laws should have, it's a test. It talks about a law that must be justifiable in a free and a democratic society. That law did not pass that test. You told Ugandans here. But Mr. President, while you were away, that law was nullified. Mr. President, the other thing you kept telling Ugandans about was the issue of land. While you were away, the issue increased. Many generals, I have seen this morning, General Kayanja is chasing many square miles, about 559 acres of land in Bulindo here in Wakiso. I had the land commissioners summoned the General Felix Kulaije, I think today or tomorrow, to clarify on again land grabbing here in Wakiso. Mr. President, the problem has shot up in Isebei, in Acholi, everywhere, Mr. President, while you are away. Mr. President, while you are away, the issue of corruption has taken a toll. I was listening to BBC this morning, and they were reporting that Mr. Museveni has cancelled the railway construction with the Chinese. He's Chinese. Of course, we know that those Chinese are his. And is now giving a Turkish and on issues of his own people, conniving with the Chinese to fleece Ugandans' money about the railways. Mr. President, there are so many things that have happened. So we want to ask Ugandans that when we make these press conferences, ladies and gentlemen, they are not just to entertain you, they are not just to give information, they are to call on you to act. And the action we now all know. The other thing, Mr. President, while you are away, when they abducted you that same week, Mr. Museveni spoke and he said he's now with Ugandans. There's a language he used. He said Katimbalina. And we told Ugandans here that everything President Kabuleta has been telling you about the vaccine, Mr. President, he almost came out when we were back into a lockdown. Because Mr. Museveni's speech technically took this Uganda. The only ingredient that missed was locking the country again. I think he was by then knocking the door to go to New York or to US. We are lucky you are back, Mr. President. We thank God. And I want to invite you, the President, to talk to the country.
Thank you very much. There are so many things that I want to say, but first of all, it's been 6 weeks, I believe, since the Monday, 28th November, when we had just finished this press conference, and those men came to take me. I was told for my safe custody. And when I'm here now, quite a number of things actually have been bothering me since then, and my knowledge of Uganda has increased quite a bit since then, and some of the things. The interesting thing I know is that, first of all, when I was in prison, everybody seemed to think that I was the solution to their problems. Every day I would come out of my ward, I would stand up, people would be there lining up to tell me my problems. They say, I am here because they want to steal my land, they are taking my land. And by the way, the things that I saw there, I'm telling you, like there is a war, and I spoke about it some time ago, an economic civil between rich people and poor people in this country. There are people who are, the biggest crime that the people in Luzira have committed, especially in the remand, is the crime of being poor. Do you know, there was a guy who was locked up 2 years because they caught him not wearing a mask. 2 years not wearing a mask. They released him just before I got there. So people were telling me, how can you be here for 2 years for not wearing a mask? Court had even lost his file. It is the prison authorities who were concerned, and they said, but really, how can somebody be here this long for something like that? Now they are all these hawkers whom KCCA get, and some of them are there because they cannot pay. There was one of 50K. They told him, bring 50K. He did not have it. He's in his third month on remand. And you hear these stories and you are in shock. And you say, 50,000 Uganda shillings. There is one 300,000. He has been there 8 months. 300,000. But they get you, they lock you, even if now you get the money, the process of coming out of court is very difficult because you go to court, the magistrate is not there. If the magistrate is not there, the magistrate is there, the state attorney is not there. So somehow, remand, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. And there is an old man whom I met there, they are trying to steal his land. He even told me the person who is trying to steal it. 4.5 years on remand. 4.5 years on remand. until he accepts to surrender the land, then you get off remand. Meanwhile, the case he's been charged with is trespass. Now, even if they actually convicted him, he would not be sentenced to 4.5 years. The sentence would be much less than that. But 4.5 years, the man is there, and he's an old, Hajj. So the man came to me. He would come every time I would sit. He's coming there saying, Kati, So he tells me stories 1 hour until I get tired of the stories. And I also want to. Then, as soon as he leaves, others come. Man, there is a lot. This country is in total confusion. I'm telling you. And now there are things I would never have known if I hadn't gone there. So in a way, it wasn't a good experience, but I thank God that I went there because I learned so many things. Do you know, let me tell you, I saw a man sign away a building in Kampala, a commercial building, for 100 million shillings. It is worth much, much more than that. But the person who wants to take it has power. So he told him, you are going to be here if you do not surrender the building. So at first the man refused. He said, ekizimbe kyange mwagala kitwala. 1 month. They give you time. 1 month. 2 months. They come, are you serious? I'm not giving you my kizimbe. 3 months. Then you become humble. After 3 months, they came with papers. And the man signed away the bill. It was so sad because he was even telling them that there is a tenant there who paid me 6 months. Please, I beg you, let him. Now there are 3 months left. I am begging you, please, let him finish those 3 months. Then you can take the building. So then he told them, are you sure? In Chanfuruma, they said, if you sign here and give this building away, tomorrow you're getting a production wall. Tomorrow you're leaving this place. The guy said, are you sure? He signed away the building. And he even got, man, they can humble you, those guys. He even gets, first of all, you're a rich man. Then they go and put you with phone thieves and what. There is a way. Like somebody who stole a phone, this one, those people. Then those are people you're with. So it works on you. So I was there seeing. So when the man eventually accepted and signed it away, he got even the piece of paper and put it in his Kayero uniform. And then he was even happy. I told him, you're happy. He said, but they have cheated him. And that's the thing. And that is like there were so many such stories you hear. You first refuse 1 month, 2 months. Then you become humble. And then eventually, and now they take it. They just take, they come and take. Now that's what's happening with land. Okay? There were others who were there on land. I got land from what I don't want to sell my land. See, prison. Something shows up there, either a girl you defiled or something shows up. Prison. If you accept that I'm giving away the land, the state will lose interest in the case. And we don't have evidence. There is not enough evidence, so the case collapses. But if you insist you want your land, you go. And now the process goes. If it gets to the point of a sentence, there is no way back. And then so there is a war, I'm telling you, between the rich and the poor in this country. It's amazing. It is unbelievable. And the things you hear there, every day, I spent 2 weeks in that place. Every day I was hearing at least 10 people telling me their stories. And I would run away from them. And for some reason, they thought I had the solution. I don't know why. Yet I was also there in a yellow uniform. But they thought I had the solution. Because people want somebody to cry to. Of course, yeah. So they want somebody to cry to. But when you show up, all of them come and line up and start kukabidi. Anyway, but the reality is that, man, this country of ours is really, really messed up. Like, I don't even know what to say about it. But after that, I just decided to go for Christmas and enjoy my Christmas. But now we are back. We are back, and we are back with serious political activity. There is no joking. We have a country to rescue. We are not going to let this country go down the drain that some people want it to go. It is not going to go there. I promise you that. It is not. And I'm telling you this because you see, there are some people who had who I don't know have been pushed into corners and so on. But we are not going to keep quiet and let Uganda go down the drain. We cannot. We have a country to rescue. If we were scared, if we could be scared by things like a few weeks in prison, I wouldn't bother of coming. I would have stayed in my preaching and so on. So the point is, we have work to do, and we are going to do it, and we are going to do our political activity. It's good that even our rivals are also doing political activity openly. So now, nobody is going to accuse us of politicking before the season of politics. Because everybody seems to have caught the bag. So now, we shall go ahead and do it. Okay, I'll take any questions now.
Thank you.
Whatever language, ne byenjogedde mba mwaganja bidda mu Luganda.
Bwaba nga waliwo abalina ebibuuzo ku president byayogedde.
Genda.
Kibuuzo kyonna bane mutubuuze. Saidi eno waliyo ebibuuzo.
Magala. Buuza what?
Good morning. Mbadde mbuuza. Nze bampita Musinguzi Blair. I work with I run the Twitter platform of Need. Mbadde mbuuza waliyo your Christmas package.
Yeah, 2023 Jerry. Tuli mu January.
We hear of political parties punishing colleagues for not attending party activities, and some are taken to be jokers, some are taken to be prostitutes from one political party to another. We heard of rumors, some joining Need. Are you welcoming them with what you've heard about them? 2, you've been in the prison. One of the NRM cadres came out and said, brought a proposal. She's taking it to Parliament to change the uniform of prisoners from yellow to any other color. Do you think that is an important issue that a parliamentarian could bring at such a point when people have issues, big issues to deal with? Thank you.
Yeah, Rita Jayzi Namugabo, Baba TV. Omukulu w'otabadde General Muhoozi yagenze n'alonda akakiiko ke nga mbe yalonze akagenda otwala Muhoozi Ame nga mbe yalonze mwabaddemu Andrew Muwenda nga sipiika we. Olowooza kino kirekawo eggwanga oba kitwalawa ebyobufuzi by'eggwanga nga tekimanyikiddwa nti Muhoozi akyali mu magye.
Kansokeziremu ebyo nga ntandika ne kino ekya Muhoozi. But let me first speak in English. Let me tell you something. Part of Museveni's plan for putting his son in power has been to destroy all other alternatives, so that when the time comes, there is only one alternative. Everybody seems to think it's inevitable that his son is going to be president. And now I see some people who are put in that group of Muhoozi Ame who I know they don't like him. Some of them even despise him. Some of them don't think anything of him. They actually think more lowly of him than even me. But they are there because they have created an aura of inevitability. Yeah, it's inevitable. He's going to be. But let me tell you something. Everybody who thinks that it's inevitable, you are falling into Museveni's trap. That's what he always wanted, because he knew he's going to cut off all alternatives and then present his son as the only alternative, and then you all run there. Now you find very important people, but let me tell you, as much as bad a president as his father has been, the one thing at least he has been is a politician. Because he knows how to appease, he knows how to use limited force when he has to, he knows how to use a lot of force when he needs to. But he's the master of appeasement and dividing and so on, and trickery, and he's a very sly person. But then he's a politician, and he knows how to solve problems without necessarily the use of force. But his one thing he has done is he has impoverished Uganda to make sure that only his people have money. Everybody else is supposed to be poor. And there is even you see even all the institutions of government, they are put in such a way that they think all money belongs to the first family or to those people. That's why you see even now URA goes and attaches. I even had Dr. Mesiche talking about it. Going into people's bank accounts and removing money, saying that this is money that is owed you for tax. It has happened to me twice, 2 times. URA removes money from my account, then you go and say, but I paid all my tax obligations. Then they say, okay, sorry. In future, we shall see how it works out in future. But they are taking money. So any money you put, they will take. And then they come up and say that we have broken all records of collecting taxes. You're thieves. You're stealing. You're not taking taxes. So now what that is going to do is it is going to make people not put money in banks. Then the banking industry will also suffer, just like all other industries are suffering. And what's going to be the net result of all of that? Because if URA is busy looking into people, as Dr. Mesiche said, busy looking in people's accounts, and I'm a witness in the first degree. It has happened to me twice. So, where does that leave us as a nation? First of all, so now, that is the sick nation that Museveni is leaving us. Very sick. Economy is on the ground. I saw him in America saying that foreign investors, I just laughed. Which investor is going to come and invest in Uganda? That is an exercise in futility, in delusion. There is no investment. Even the investors who are currently here, I'm telling you, these top companies, they do not own anything. They will never, everything is on hire. Even the vehicles they use are hired. Even the computers they use are hired. Every money they make, they repatriate it back to their countries immediately, waiting for when the country gets into fire and they take off. So they will not lose anything. Their money is all repatriated. Immediately it is made, it is repatriated. Even the computers they use are all hired. Even the vehicles they use are all hired. Everything, there is not a single thing they own, because they know this country is volatile and it is going nowhere. You can't come and invest in Uganda amidst all this volatility. Now, that's the country that we've left now, and yet they impoverished all the local people and say that the economy is going to be handled by investors. Which investors are now just, okay, they will come and they invest, but you see, you go and study some of these top companies. I wish I could mention some of them. Not a single thing they use is owned. They are all hired. And every money they make is sent back home. Why? Because they know the minute they see the first sign of trouble, they will be on the first flight out of here, and they will leave you with your country. So now it's our responsibility to make sure that we sort this country. And then we'll make it stable in such a way that investors, people who actually have money to invest, can come and invest. Because there is no country which is going to invest when there has not been a peaceful, there is no company, serious investor, who is going to put their money in a country where there has not been a single peaceful exchange of power. That kind of investment nobody does. That is stupidity. So nobody's going to come here and invest. But then, so the country is sick, on the deathbed. The economy is sick. Everything is sick. No wonder even they are manufacturing outbreaks and pandemics now, because that fits into what everything is. But then, those people who are on Moses' army are the people who have undertaken to bury Uganda. Right now we're on the deathbed. We are not yet dead completely. But now anybody, if you see somebody on Moses' army, You tell him you are like those, you know, those Ghanaian undertakers who carry coffins while dancing. Eh? Those are the people. What? Whatever. Those burial undertakers. Those are the people because they know Muhoozi cannot rule a country. What does he know? At least his father knew how to talk to people and appease. Muhoozi is drunk with the privilege. You say something that annoys him, the next day they will come and pick you up and go and torture you. But when they arrested me in 2019, they were beating me there and punching me, and they were taking videos sending to him. And then they made me kneel down, okay, in my underpants. Kneel down, put your hands up, and say from today onwards, I'm going to respect generals, especially General Muhoozi. How can such a person be a president? Are you kidding me? Like, do you hate Uganda? So anybody who is on that Muhoozi army hates Uganda, you want to bury the country. Because how can you think such a person can be president? Like, he doesn't have the temperament. He doesn't have any, he has nothing. The only thing he has is his father's genes going through his blood. That's it. He doesn't have anything. So, if you hate Uganda so much, you go and join Muhoozi's army. Or Audrey Kurabog, for that matter. None of them, you see, these people think that it's going to be decided up there, you know, and the rest of you, the 40-something million Ugandans, for you, nobody cares about your opinion. It is not. There is not, there is not going to be a Muhoozi presidency, and there is never going to be a Audrey Kurabogo presidency. The president of this country, after we are getting rid of this dictator, is going to be somebody whom the people choose. Not who these other people, you know, these who want to sit in a kakukuru to protect their loot. They say now, how are we going to protect our loot? Because they see the man who has supervised over their looting is elderly. And maybe, I don't know, mortality. So now they are saying, dividing themselves. Some are in this camp, some are in the other camp. None of those camps is going to be president. I'm telling you that. Now, how can you hate Uganda so much? I mean, President Muhoozi of Uganda, are you kidding? How can you hate Uganda so much? They know him. The people who are saying that, they know him. They know this country would be in a complete disaster if that were to happen. But because they are full of self-interest, they have decided that let them just sell the country and carry it on poles. You know, like those guys, those funeral guys, who were trending here during COVID. During COVID period, where they're carrying what? Casket going to bury. Now those are the people, the Mwendas. Mwenda is the one leading the people dancing, going to bury Uganda. And the others who were there. Gashumba. Those are the people who are going to supervise over the funeral of Uganda. But then, Uganda is going to be here, and Muhoozi is not going to be president. Now, you can take that to the bank, by the way. I am telling you. So his army, let him go ahead with his delusion of Muhoozi army, and that's delusion. Now, of course, I know he can send his goons to come here and arrest me, and they go and torture me, but it's okay. Okay? It's okay. But he's not going to be president. Okay? He is not, neither is Audrey Kurabogo, by the way. Neither is anybody from the first family. It is not going to happen. We are not fools. We are not cows that we are going to be hardened into. So now, what they've resorted to is, anyway, that will do for now. There was another question from that man from Sim. Okay. There's one of the uniform. Now uniform, how is that even a matter of concern to anybody? For me, what concerns me about prison is that we should have people there who deserve to be there. Not people who are just accused of being poor. Hawkers, they find them, they get them there. The man spends 9 months there for just being caught selling things on the street. And if you can bring 100,000 there, do you have anybody who can get you 100,000? I don't have. See, bus. The next thing you know, 1.5 years later, the guy is still there. 100,000, 300,000. So what I want is, let prison be for people who have actually committed crimes. Now, what color of uniform they wear while there is not important. As long as we do not have people there because some top people in government want to steal their buildings or to steal their land. So, I think also that's part of people. I mean, Ugandans really can. We have an opportunity here, let me tell you, of transition. we have an opportunity of transitioning from Museveni to the next leader. And it is so important that we do not divert ourselves with things which are not important. It is very, very important that now, like, well, now they are going to spend a lot of time discussing. We spent a lot of time discussing the Computer Misuse Act. Immediately it came out. The next thing it's in what? It's in the dustbin. And that is the same one which they cancelled it from 2011, the one of 2011. So that was the same one under which I was charged and made to kneel down and say that, I'm never going to touch Muhoozi, especially General Muhoozi. Who does he think he is? Kabuleta. Unless you put a bullet through this head, there is no way you can. Of course, when you're there, because they have all these guns around you, they will make you do whatever they want. But anyway, you guys, we have only just started. If these people think that they are going to like silence us, like they don't know what they have coming. By the way, they don't know what they have coming. I'm telling you the truth, because we are going to fight for this country. Those people who have decided to be part of the funeral services of Uganda, carrying the casket of Uganda in the name of Muhoozi Army, let them go. For us, we are going to be in those who want to treat Uganda until it is discharged from hospital and is called a functional country. Then the other thing you said, the defectors. Has anybody contacted you? So we'll answer that question when they come. Maybe they contacted any of you guys when I was away. But if they haven't, we shall answer that question when they come. But we know that we have so many people there, real people who, in so many places, by the way, including movement, who love Uganda. And while they are there to protect their jobs, and I appreciate that, okay, I understand, not appreciate, I understand. Secretly, they talk to you and say that, you know, we really, really appreciate what you're doing for the country. And I meet those people all the time. And sometimes outwardly, they will come and say, you know, this government is so good, what? But if you are to slice those people, even those people part of the funeral management of Uganda, if you are to get into their brains, none of them is so stupid. They know what that would do to this country. They know. So, yeah, any other question? Okay, first of all, I want to say this. But I saw that cheat, apparently, from what? From General Sali, accusing Lukwago of being part of the beneficiaries of his aid. And I'm so shocked that it has taken on a life of its own, because from where I stand, Saleh is a person who has absolutely zero credibility. I wouldn't even trust him to walk my dog. So this is somebody who has his hand in every jar. There is copper in Kasese, Saleh is there. There is gold where, Saleh is there. Every day, marijuana in Bulambudi, Saleh. Coffee, Saleh. What now? Why would I listen to Saleh accusing somebody like Lukwago? Would I be mad? Saleh is a man who has zero credibility as far as I'm concerned. Very negative credibility. He is the epitome of everything that is wrong with this country. General Saleh. Everything that's wrong with this country. Now he's the one who is trying to impose his nephew on Uganda. And then the problem with this thing is we give those people the ability to destroy people's reputations by just associating themselves with them. You know, let me tell you this, and I hope nobody is offended by it. When we grew up, when we were young, and in the 90s, there would be somebody in the village who everybody says, that one Arabika Murwadde. I will not mention the sickness, but you know what I'm talking about. Arabika Murwadde. Now some of them would even enjoy the reputation. And if he wants to destroy a girl's reputation, he can say, oh, Naita yo. And as soon as he says that, everybody runs away from the girl, and he's lying. You see, so now because he has the ability to destroy everybody. So if people would even beg him, please don't, because even if he has never, he goes and says, Naita yo. Then people say, Wanji, then the next thing nobody is interested in that person. So now we should make sure that we do not give these people the ability to discredit all opposition people. Why would we believe them? Because if that is the case, then they will discredit everybody. The other one, and that one also. Then the next thing, you're left with an option but Muhoozi. You're falling into a trap. For me, I will judge Lukwago by what I see. And what I see is a man who is fighting for the rights of the people who are downtrodden. That's what I know, that's what I see. Now, if he's accused by somebody who has any credibility, maybe I might be convinced to even look into the accusations. But as long as the person accusing is Saleh has no credibility whatsoever. He is a symbol of everything that is wrong with Uganda. Everything. How can I believe him over somebody who has been, who has stood out to fight for the rights of people who have been trampled on? So unless there is something more important than Saleh's cheats, okay? And that's all. All that is holy crap. Like I did something. There would have to be something more tangible than Saleh or anybody in the movement. Okay, not in the movement. Among those people, because movement is a party which has all sorts of people. But among those people, somebody who is more credible, not Saleh. Don't tell me that Saleh. So now, me, I will stand with what I have seen and what I have experienced. Okay. He has been there, stood out for people. I'm talking about the Lord Mayor. Stood out for people who are oppressed. He has fought his wars. So we shall go with that. We shall go with what we see. And if there's anybody more credible than him, maybe we shall listen. But Saleh, don't tell me Saleh is rubbish.
Natugenda mu Uganda nze ntege nga nkola ne Fresh TV. Ku nsonga eyo yennyini eya Lord Mayor ne mukulu Saleh. Kano katega akagendereddwamu okusiiga abali ku ludda oluvuganya enziro.
Kati sooka ombuulire ani ali mu ludda oluvuganya gwe batasiiganga nziro okulya. Omanyi njogedde kino bwe twakuliranga edda nga tukyali bato, kati omanyi tukuzeemu mu myaka gy'ekyenda. Kati nga wabeerawo omulenzi ku kyalo nga buli omu bayide ŋŋambo nti omulenzi mulwadde naye kwegamanga omulenzi oyo asobola okwonoona future y'omuwala yenna ng'agamba bugambi ye nayitayo. Olwogera teri ayagala kuddamu kuwulira because ono omulenzi buli omu amutula. Kati ensobi gye twakola tuwadde bano abantu obuyinza okusobola okujja okwonoona abantu be tubadde tumanyi mu ngeri endala. Kati ani abawadde obuyinza? Kati okujjako ng'omuntu akyogedde muntu gwe tuyinza okuwulira n'oga nti oyo omuntu ayina ensa. Naye Saleh kwegamba esimbo eya buli kimu ekyonoonese mu ggwanga muno. Buli awali akasente konna buli kukijja yonna alinamu omukono. Buli awali ekikolobero tekibulamu Saleh. Teri kikolobero wano kibulamu Saleh. Wano kuba kopa kasese Saleh. Wano simanyi njaga kutwala mataka g'abantu Saleh. Karamoja Saleh. Omusenyu Saleh. Kwegamba kati nga mpuliriza Saleh ng'ate ono omuntu gwayogerako nze mbadde nabye mulabako. Kati njagenda n'ekyo kyendabyeko ne Lord Mayor. Kati aba opposition nabo balekerawo okwekuba kubanga kati obuzibu obuliwo bw'oba weekuba tisibaako n'obujulizi bw'olaga nti gundi naliyo oba nalaba. Naye nga basobola okukeera enkya ne bwonoona n'oyo Kabuleta twamuwadde ssente n'oli twamuwadde ssente ogenda okulanga buli omu bamuwadde ssente. Kati balinga oli omulenzi w'okukyalo omulwadde nga buli mukazi yenna ayo nayita ogenda okulanga nti munoonya abakazi bemukwana nga tebaliiwo naye nga ate alimba teyayitayo. Kaakati bwe buzibu bwe tulina ne bano abantu kwegamba tewali gwe batagenda kwonoona, tewali. So n'olw'ensonga eyo saagala tuyingire katego kaabwe. Baagala nti buli omu yalya oluvannyuma tusigale nga era tulina Muhoozi yekka. kuba kye baagala. Kati sale lindako kuba si yasindika muhozi. Kati lindako ojja kuwulira n'abalala. Ajja kugenda yeesiba ku balala. Nooli. Kubanga abantu babajjemu essuubi bagenda okulaba nti munaye kati tetulina kyakukola. Era ndowooza tusigaza muhozi yekka nedda tulina ebyokukola. Waliwo abatasobola kukwata ssente y'abasajja abo. Mwe bali mu opposition. Owulidde? Mwe bali mu opposition. Kati kanze ne ku kiri kye nayogedde mu luzungu ekya muhozi ame. Omuntu yenna eyeeteeka ku muhozi ame ne eggwanga olwedde tuli kwegamba dwadde tuli mu casualty. Neffe tubadde tukyalina essuubi ntusobola odijjayo live mu casualty, live mu ICU, lidde mu kitanda ekya bulijjo, oluvannyuma lisiibule eggwanga libe nga likola. Lyessuubi lye tulina. Naye omuntu agenda mu muhozi ame oyo yeewaddeyo kwega alinga bano abasajja abeetikka waliwo abeetikka essanduuku nga bakutwala okuziika naye nga bagenda batema dansi ate nga bakubye amansuuti galinga ffe naye nga bagenda kuziika. Kati abali muhozi ame bo basazeyo baziike Uganda kubanga bakimanyi oyo omulenzi tasobola kufuga ggwanga lino ne tugende ne tubako nekitu. Bakimanyi muhozi tasobola kufuga ggwanga lino ne tubako nekitu kama gye tulaga ng'eggwanga. Ekyo bakimanyi. Number one, oyo mbadde njogera wano bankwata wano mu 2019 bankwata kuwandika article era nga njogera ebyo nti talina kaayina ali awo system bagiteekayo y'okumuteeka naye omuntu yennyini gwe bateerawo system omutunuulira n'oga ati ono alagawo. So nankwata nga munyiivu bwe bakuba ebikonde wano bwe bakwata vidiyo bwe bamusindikira nti omulabe yadde akuvuma kati ne bakuba ebikonde ne bakwata vidiyo bwe bamusindikira ng'ayina ndooza gy'atudde ayina akacupa ng'atunula n'aga obadde omumanyiira. Kati kakati ne banfukamiza nenfukamira wansi nga nyambadde ka underwear banzigyemu essaati n'epaliki banjiiridde amazzi nzenna ne banfukamizaawo ne bagaa kati wanika emikono nga nninga asinza ne mpanika emikono ne baŋŋamba nti kakati yogera ebigambo bino nga baabiwandiise biri kapapula gamba nti okuva n'olunaku olwaleero sigenda kuddamu kumanyira ba general naddala General Muhozi kati wendi wano mumanyidde because omanyi kambabuulire okutya kugenda kuteeka abantu kwenda kuleeta eggwanga lyaffe lino ebizibu bingi nnyo abantu okubeera nga batya. Kati nze kambabuulire ekyo ekintu kya simanyi Muhozi ame lino eggwanga olina okuba nga walikyawa nnyo okutunulako mu maaso eyo n'olaba nga Muhozi ye mukulembeze w'eggwanga lino. Kitegeeza Uganda wagikyawa oba n'okusinga sitaani kubanga n'abalimu ame yennyini bakimanyi bennyini. Olunaku nga tebannankwata era nasanga mwendo oyo nitutuula twalina Samuel tuli naga lwaki oga Muhozi tasobola kubeera president nemugaa tasobola kubeera naawe asobola okutuula okujja na addressing eggwanga n'aŋŋamba nti waliwo president abata addressing aggwanga nampa example ya president wa Cameroon Paul Biya amazeeko emyaka nga ndooza agenda mu 50 alina emyaka 88 abeera mu France gy'abeera alya ssente ajja buzimu kalulu n'awangula akalulu n'addayo. Kati example mwenda gye yampa kati bw'otyo bw'oyagala Uganda omanyi Cameroon bwefaanana liŋŋeezeeyo olabira ddala eggwanga nga lyafa lyasiraanira ddala. Kati ne ŋŋamba mwenda nti ekyo kyoyagaliza Uganda eggwanga alikyawa nnyo bw'otyo. So kakati byebyo abasitudde sanduuku bagenda kuziika Uganda bagenda batema dansi bali mu masuuti aga black bagenda beba bali mu Muhozi ame neffe eggwanga terugenda tuziika. Tukimanyi nti eggwanga Museveni alirese eddwadde economy ndwadde buli kimu kirwadde amakubo malwadde amalwaliro malwadde kozi n'amalwaliro nago galwala kati we galwala ani agajjanjaba. Kakati buli kimu kirwadde neffe tusuubira nti kisobola okudda engulu nga tutereezezza eggwanga. Ate njagala babulira tulina period ya transition saagala kuba bano kye bagezzaako Museveni kyagezzaako okukola mu ebbanga lyonna kwe kuggyawo abantu bonna abantu gwe baali tunuulidde omuntu yenna abantu gwe baali tunuulidde nti oba yoono ne bamumenyawo mugende okukeera ku makya nga musigaza gundi emu yokka muhoozi buli oli twali tulooza yagenda tutaasa kati twali twagendera bamuguze kati ono twali yanaatutaasa kati naye bamuguze katumale gagenda n'ono ye pulaani ye kati gwe woba olowooza nti muhoozi agenda kubeera pulezidenti tetulina kyakikolera kiri inevitable kwegamba tetukyalina kyetuyinza kikolera ogudde mu katego ka Museveni tulina kyetusobola okukikolera ate tugenda kikola tetugenda kukkiriza kuziika ggwanga lino bwe tutyo naffe abali eri batandika otusekereranga abatogo nti oba nga Cameroon kati oba Chad bategeka mwana Cameroon omusajja ali myaka 88 atambula yenna bwati nimpule ajabuzi olumana addayo mu ddwaliro France mwana we vice president kati waafiira kati naffe tubeere bwe tutyo kugamba owaayo oti eggwanga lyo bwotyo how do you hate your country that much how are you even Ugandan to think like that so anyway ebyange byebyo mu Luganda n'enkonomi kakati okay ababuuziza wano ku TikTok ensonga y'abaana abafiira ebweru omayika ambabuulire lwaki kino nakiraba wano nga covid yakaggwa we nasooka okuva mu Uganda nali ku kisaawe ky'ennyonyi nendaba bawala bato bali myaka nga kuva 16 awo 19 ndowooza omukulu yali nga 2 awe batyo bagenda mu Middle East basimbye nabasanga departure ningo obalabo n'abatudde awo basirifu tebamanyi gye bagenda tebamanyi kigenda kuddako omanyi teri kintu kibi nga kugenda gy'otomanyi kubanga oba weebuuza kyekiriyo because oluusi oyinza okugenda ne bikubeerera birungi naye ng'ate of course abaana abo baba bawulidde stories ez'abantu abaliyo naye oluusi n'agamba oba oli awo nze n'amaliriza ne bosi omulungi nze n'afuna akasente n'emperera maama wange oba jjajja wange ebintu ebiringa ebyo naye ng'obalaba bonna bali very worried bonna basirifu bonna bali bwe bati kakati nzijukira edda nga tukyali bato bano abajaasi ab'amagye bajja okurecruitinga abaana abaali myaka gyaffe okugenda mu magye kati waliwo omulenzi gwe twabeeranga naye ku kyalo kati nagaa naye saikinga awo nze ngenda gayingira kakati n'agenda n'afuna ebbaluwa y'erusi n'agenda ne bamukebera naye wano bamala okukebera wano ne bakuwandiisa walinga waliwo ekimere waliwo obusoda waliwo ebintu ebisikiriza bingi kati bwe baamala okufuna ennamba gye baagala we bati we pu ne balyoka baggalawo ne balyoka bagaa kati mujje mugoyegoye ne basitamya awo ne batandika obbatika kati natunuli abantu baalinya baasi siri omulenzi yalinnya baasi kati mba ntambula mu tawuni bwe ndemulanga ali ku ddiisa lya baasi naye ng'atunula naye ng'omulaba ebirowoozo bimuli wala omanyi oba olowooza kino kyenkoze kirungi oba kibi kwe tomanyi oli awo wakati gundi gye nalaba mu baana abo abawala abo nasanga ku airport naye ate ekyewunyisa the same time nasanga abantu nga bava mu mawanga ago abamu baali from Asia biki naye nga bayingira Uganda naye nga bo basanyufu ate nga nkimanyi bano abayingira baweemu emyaka 2 bajja kuba balina amayumba malungi bajja kuba balina abakozi bajja bokka omusajja ajja yeka neogenda okulanga ne famire yagireese aleese omukyala n'abaana ninga ne lwaki Uganda ekolera abagwira netekolera bannansi lwaki abannansi bo bagidduka abagwira ne bajja muno ate bo ne bagifunamu emirembe ne bagifunamu ssente lwaki lwafuga bbi waliwo atayagaliza abantu bakuno kubeera bulungi buli ajja kuno kati ne bana Eritrea nabo batandise okunyoma bannayuganda Eritrea omanye Eritrea kugamba kale wali ogambeko abachina kuba abo bava mu nsi eri first world ne Eritrea fe tugisigire bajja kuno era nabo ne bamaliza ate nga nabo batunyoma kati n'ogamba abannayuganda baliko kati ebyo tulina okusooka okwetaasa because abo abagenda mu Saudi Arabia tebajja kulekerawo genda nga ekiri wano ekibagobawo tekinaakutereera kakati bano abagenda ate abamu bagenda kuba okay organize simanyi biki ate abatunda organize bali kuno ate nabo baagala kubeera aba president kati bwe buzibu tuyina kakati kye tuyina wano kiri nti kasooke mbabulye ebiri ebyo tuyina olutalo oluliwo wakati lw'abagagga n'abaavu mu ggwanga lino olwo olutalo nalulaba ndi luzira kubanga eruzira nayingira abantu bonna bajja basimba layini buli omu akubulira ekizibu kye buli omu akubulira ekizibu kye bonna baabuuza baali bandabye ku tv nga ninya baasi babeera ne tv mu woodi omwo kati nga balabye nti ninya baasi kati nga baniize natuukayo nga baniize kuba bamanyi era baasi endeeta kakati kati nga balabye amawulire gano agassaawo emu kitundu kati natuukanga 2 kati ngenda okulaba Kabuleta ali mu waadi ki enkeera lwalwo natuuka lwakusatu enkeera ku lwokuna nfuluma bweti sina nakutegeera bigenda mu maaso nange ndi awo mpunze abantu batandise dda kusimba layini kumbulira bizibu byabwe nze ekindeeseza wano baagala kunzibako ttaka lyange baagala kunzibako kizimbe kyange baagala kugamba ebizibu byabwe nga biyitirivu kati nina omusajja gwe nalaba ekizimbe kye yakitundawo miliyoni 10 kiri mu kibuga wano miliyoni 10 endagaano yagisayiningirawo mu kkomera naye nga baamukwata ne bamuteekako ekisango kyatazzanga nga baagala kizimbe kati na mwezi gumu n'akaluba n'agasige nabbawa kizimbe kyange ogwokubiri naga nedda mbaga kale katuwongeremu katayimu ogwokusatu kati ng'agonze omwezi ogwokusatu ng'agonze ne bajja ne bamugaa kati okkiriza naga kale nzikiriza ne bamugaa katugenda kuwa miliyoni 10 e commercial building wano mu kibuga miliyoni 10 ezitagula yadde ploti ekizimbe kye we kiri n'agamba kati nga yeegayirira naga kati waliwo tenant eyampa emyezi 6 mbegayiridde mumukkiriza emyezi gye 6 giggweyo gisigaddeyo 3 biki namugaa kati sayininga wano naga sayininga nti otunze naga naye naava wano enkya ne bamugaa ti bw'osayininga wano enkya omulamuzi bakuyita ne bakuta naga mukikakasa nti etukikakasa ne bawa n'asayininga ekizimbe ne kigenda n'akwata n'akapapula kwagize kakopi ke n'akateeka mu yunifoomu ye eya kyenvu teina nsawo ozinga buziizi wano oteekawo nga ng'omusipi n'ozinga omwo kati omusajja n'agenda ng'asanyuse naga munange enkya ŋŋenda ninga nti osanyuse eki bakubbye naga munaye ekizimbe saazaalibwa nakyo kanfulume wano n'agenda mpakase nkole ki nfune ekirala naye ng'olaba mubbye abantu bali eyo waliwo gwe baasiba myaka 2 bamukwata tayambadde mask si mubbi si ki tayambadde mask myaka 2 abali eyo bano abatembeyi bano oli amaze emyezi 8 wazza musango ki bamusanga atembeya myezi 8 baana bato tubatidde future tebalina mirimu kati ate ne mubakwata ne mubasuula mu kkomera olw'obusangosango obw'obusango waliwo abaziba emisango sigamba nti bonna baliyo ku busangosango butonotono n'abatemu gye bali n'abasi gye bali kimanyi naye waliwo bano abalala boolabye ddala nti omusango ogumuvunaanyibwa gwakubeera mwavu bamugaa leeta emitwalo 10 awo otherwise ogendamu ne gimubula n'agenda ng'alowooza nti oba bw'agifuna enkeera akomawo omulamuzi amulaba myezi 8 tannalaba ku mulamuzi naye nga 10 gyali gimutaasa obutagenda luzira naye kati nga gyali myezi 8 mwaka gumu nasanga ajaawo myaka 4 kitundu baagala kubba ttaka lye alina biici awo gy'alina omunene omu gavumenti ayagala gibba omusajja alemeddeko myaka 4 n'ekitundu naye nga buli we nafuluma bweti okunywa kacaayi ng'omusajja haji ali awo atudde kakati nze bano abasajja sigenda kukkiriza batwala ettaka lya nemutu ekkomera likaddiya nga musajja akaddiye nange lyankaddiya wiiki 2 zokka naye nga omutunuulira nga noga nti naye nga alemeddeko myaka 4 n'ekitundu talina musango yali aziza ate nga kye bamuvunaanya trespass ne bamusalira omusango tegusobola kuweza myaka 4 n'ekitundu ku ttaka lya nti bamuvunaanya trespass ku ttaka lye kakati nendaba nti bano abaavu bano abantu ba Uganda bano aba bulijjo batunuulidde ffe okuvaayo tubaiko ne kye tukola ndine eggwanga okulijjamu bano abantu abalowooza nti lyabwe tulizze mu mikono gy'abannayuganda bonna batunulidde ffe tetusobola balyamu lukwe tewaba kulimba ekyo tetusobola kubalyamu lukwe kubanga wano we tuli tugenda kubeera n'akakisa ka transition waliwo ebigenda okukyuka twagala we bikyuka bitunule gye twagala bitunule eggwanga liddeyo mu mikono gy'abantu aba bulijjo tuddemu okuba obululu ng'abantu omuntu gwe balonze yafuga n'ebintu ebiringa ebyo so mwebale nnyo
waliyo ekibuuzo
nedda ekisooka yaŋŋamba obutayogera ku musango ogwo ogwa sectarianism teyaŋŋamba kukoma ku bigambo byange otherwise baali badde batawanira bwereere naye nga baŋŋamba obutayogera ku nsonga eyo era siina kyenjogeddeko ya sectarianism so okulwokusatu nzirayo mu kooti omanyi I want to respect the courts Cynthia but I just want to respect because waliwo terms zaki za bail omusango ogubeera mu kooti togwogerako owulidde ate ekyo si kya Kabuleta yekka ekyo kya buli omu omusango ogubeera mu kooti guveeko paka nga kooti emaze okugulamula kati sijja gwogerako ogwo gwa sectarianism era tojja kumpulya nga nkyogeddeko nga tukyali mu kooti however ebirala nja byogerako kuba tebiri mu kooti naye nabe babaagala babitwale mu kooti babitwale naye nga kati ebyebyo waliwo ekirala kakati ekintu kyaba opposition okwegatta kigezeddwa abantu bakyagala nnyo naye abakigezezzaako enfunda nnyingi kuviira ddala mu 2001 2006 2011 ake kuva 96 abantu gabagamba opposition yegatte naye nga sirabangako nga yegatta naye nga ate singa bapita mu tokisi ez'okwegatta nze siina buzibu nagenda kwegatta nabo siina buzibu yadde kubanga tumanyi tulina kye tusobola okukola ffe nga ffe tulina kye twetaaga okukola ng'abantu abangi kakati nze ekyokwegatta sikiinaako buzibu yadde n'akatono however ne bwe bampita mu tokisi sisobola butagenda nesitula ne ŋŋenda ne tuteesa ku nsonga y'okwegatta eyo sigiinaako buzibu naye weetaaga okubeerawo omuntu azitandika naye kati olwedde owulira bano bavudde mu pati eno bagenze mu eri bano kati ebyo twabiwulyanga bavudde mu opposition bagenze mu movement kakati kati already bw'otandika okutwala abantu b'omuntu olwedde kati awo ekintu ky'okwegatta kibeera naye nze waliwo aba movement bangi abagenda okujja ewaffe bangi mujja balaba wano bajja kujja ne kaadi zaabwe tubanjule wano nti avudde mu movement agenze mu need awo mulyoke mulabe tukube n'ekigenyi wano abantu banywe basanyuke nga abantu kugamba nga omanyi bayibuli ega nti omuntu omu bw'ava mu kuzikirira mu kubula wabeerawo embaga mu ggulu kati waliwo abali mu kuzikirira betwagala baveeyo bajje wano naffe tukole embaga wano ku nsi nti badde babuze naye kati bazaawuse kati awo tewabeerawo kusanyuka kw'amaanyi kusanyuka kati nze nga pasita omuntu bw'ava mu kyaki eri najja mu yange tewabeera kusanyuka kubanga olwedde abadde mukkiriza naye bwe mujja nga si mukkiriza nga mujje mu ssabo ne muleeta mu kyaki yange wabeerawo kusanyuka si bwe kiri kati ffe twagala bano abava mu ssabo sikyogedde ekyo naye abadde bakoze eki bajje eno tusanyuke bulungi jjo nkyogedde weebale nnyo ensonga ze tugenda okusimbako essira ekisookera ddala nsonga ya ttaka bubbi bw'ettaka twagireetako wano ne tugyogerako ebbanga naye kati obubbi bw'ettaka buyitiridde kati ekyo nakyo tugenda kutandika okukiteeka mu limelight abantu bonna bakitegeere ensonga emu eyokubiri ensonga y'ebyenfuna. Lwaki ebyenfuna by'eggwanga bigootanye bwe biti? Era nga bwe tubadde twogera waliwo akimbuuzizza wano n'ekiwanvu saagadde kiddamu because ansa yakyo yalibadde mpanvu. Naye nga ebintu byenfuna bigootanye wano. Ne boogera ekonomi, tewali ekonomi ya kwegamba otunula ekonomi nja gyogerako omulundi omulala bulungi nnyo. Naye nga tukimanyi nti bo baasalawo kuwavuwaza abantu, omwavu tasalawo kyayagala. Kati ojja balaba bakuteeka babagamba nti ajangu mu ame. Naye nga tebamuwadde yadde n'ekikumi, naye nga asuubira busuubizi nti bajja muwa n'agenda. Naye nga tebajja muwa. Naye olw'okuba ye wali ssente. Naye nga ssente eziriyo ze zino sale z'abadde abba mu bitundu byonna kati aziteeka mu mutabani we asobole okukola ki? Okukuuma ebyobubbi bibadde babba. Next generation of theft. Naye kati omuntu kanzeeko ensonga. Mulowooza bagenda kubeerayo akalulu akali free and fair? Nga tugeze mu myaka egiddako mu maaso eyo ng'omulenzi oyo atutte obuyinza ng'ate yabutwala butwazi nti ali entitled n'abutwala kati nga mumanya emyaka emirala 40 mu bino ebintu bye tubaddemu. Kaakati eggwanga lino oba walikyawo otya? Ogenda mu ebyo oba walikyawo otya? Ffe tunaabeerako ddiina akalulu ne tugaa nti abantu baalooza omuntu ng'ekyali e Kenya. Omanyi ekyali e Kenya nayogera ne bano ba observers aba African Union observers abaali e Kenya ne baŋŋamba nti bagenda buli police station olwabanga okuteekayo nga babala naye baŋŋamba nti ennamba gye baabala yennyini ne electoral commission ye Kenya gye yafulumya nga Ruto awangudde by 50.49 ne bagambye yennyini bye twabala independently bye baafulumya wano. Naye nga ne bannaye ffe tulibeerako ddi n'akalulu bwe katyo nga observers mubawadde ebbeetu mugende wonna we mwagala mubale kyonna kye mwagala ne babala ne bagaa ekituufu kiri kye balangiridde kyekyo naffe kye twabaze ne mugaawo kakasa naga kye twabala independently ne tukifulumya nti kye twafunye ne bali kye baafulumya. Kati ffe tulibeerako ddi n'akalulu ngaako nga muli mu bino simanyi ame biki. Mubeere bulungi.
Tweyanziza mpozi katono nnyo yabadde abuuza ku uniform eya kyenvu. Katukiddemu bwe tuti mukyala Mary Begumisa Honorable ate pastor aganye kukkiriza nti ali mu busibe bwa bwongo. Bw'oba ng'osigadde mu movement n'ebigenda mu maaso byonna ebibi bye tuwogedde ng'okyagiwagira toyina nnyo njawulo na muntu ali luzira gwe baasiba. Akole ekintu kimu yenunule ave mu busibe bw'obwongo. Let Honorable Mary Begumisa free herself from brain enslavement and brain imprisonment. That is why the color looks like yellow, and that is the color of prison.
Yeah, but that thing has a history. When Sekandi, I think Honorable Sekandi was the speaker, there was then a proposal of dressing parliamentary chairs to yellow. I think when Sekandi was the speaker, that proposal was rejected, I think, by Livingstone Okello, if I have not forgotten. But how would you dress parliament with the color that the Luzira people are putting on? You people are media people, you. And they rejected it on only that ground. Now, the new parliamentary chambers are about to be open. They want to do, that is what they want to dress with the parliamentary chambers. But the other original proposal is still haunting them. So that's why this lady is being told, oyo muchala mandwa, ekimwogererako, wali amwogereramu. They want to degazette Luzira so that they use the color in parliament, so that it is the same with the NRM. That is the plan. That is it. There is nothing else. So yo mandwa. So, eyogerera ku muntu. eyogera ku muntu naye ekintu n'ekirala kyenjagala jasa okwongerezaako omukulembeze wange kyayogeddeko ekya defection kino. Pulezidenti ffe tuli kibiina ate tuli myezi giigi 3. Tulina proper recruitment policies. Omuntu yenna waaba azze mu need tulina emitendera gye tumuyisaamu. Tetusooka tetujja kubuuza nti ovaawa. Of course enju ebeera emu nti omuntu avudde mu kisenge kiri n'adda mu kisenge kino naye nga mu nju emu kirinamukko gundi naye still tetujja kubuuza nnyo naye tetugenda kubanga tulina bannaffe abava waliyo for example munsonyiwa okukyogera kino naye kandowooze nti bannaffe tebajja kuwulira bubi nange nti waliyo enju eri muki omuliro guli mu nju nga mu DP for example banoonya we basobola okuba tebaagala crossing eri wayise musabo tebaagala genda musabo baagala kujja mu nyumba endala eri mu Katonda abo tetulina buzibu nabo so kyekyo kyennyini naye ffe yeeyo gundi ye stando yaffe tweyanze ge bannaffe okujja temujjanga okwo. Ssaabasajja Kabaka wangaale.
Kale tweyanziza nnyo. Tujja bbaaniriza omulundi oguddako mwebale kutuwa budde ne mujja ne muwuliriza ate ne muweereza eggwanga kakasa bonna babiwulidde.